My name is Bart Griffin, and I'm a sinner, and I'm a child of God. I'm also on the UALC Church Council, and we want to make sure that if someone wants to know what's going on in council, we want them to feel free to get a hold of us and ask us any questions they may have about what's going on with council and what's going on with the church. Today I'm going to explain to you how a person who is a type A personality gets up early and works late and is one of the worst listeners you'll ever meet, and also someone that's very impatient, is able to get up every morning and for an hour and a half to 2 hours sit and meditate and pray, read the Word, and attempt to listen to God.
James 4:8 says to draw near to God and He will draw near to you. I'm here to tell you that if you really draw near to God, He will really draw near to you.
And I didn't get there overnight. It was definitely a journey. Starting out in my life through high school and college, I was a little bit of a problem child. Caused my parents a lot of grief. Got in a lot of trouble. Did a lot of partying. And there were casualties from this. Some of the casualties were, by the time I was 16, I was a pallbearer for a young man, a good friend of mine who had committed suicide. Not long after that, a friend of mine drowned in Allen Creek. I was supposed to be on that boat that day and skip school and be on that boat, and I didn't go, but it certainly had an impact on me. Not long after that, I had a DUI. My first year driving, and this pattern continued through high school and through college, and more events and more getting in trouble, and then again, shortly after college, it continued on, and another one of my friends committed suicide, and all these things were drug and alcohol related, okay? Somehow I survived all these things, and I didn't grow up in the church. I didn't belong to a real strong Christian family, but I do believe my mother's prayers probably got me through these times. And she was a saint. She was a saint, and she was certainly my mentor growing up as a Christian.
But what really brought everything to a head was when I was age 32. My brother had a bad accident, and he was electrocuted and fell 2 stories, and was paralyzed from the neck down. He worked with me. Here I was, 32. I had a insurance agency that was successful. I had a beautiful wife, 2 healthy young boys, and I was reading the Bible and going to church regularly, but I was still the God of my life. My life was not surrendered to God, and this injury changed my life. It made me realize that I could not survive life without God. My brother lost everything. He lost his home. He lost his fiance. He lost his job. He had some brain damage, and he died 11 years after his accident. And he was one of those people that you could never outlove. He always stayed ahead on the love scale. Even though you try to pay him back, he was always ahead.
needless to say, what happened was I would put myself in his position and think, well, how would he have dealt with this had I been the one that had the injury? And what I realized is that I was never going to be able to measure up to how he would have reacted on this. He would have probably been at my bedside for 11 years, okay? And I realized that I wasn't going to be able to do that. And it rocked me. It rocked my life. And I started going to God and dropping to my knees and praying in hospitals and at home during this time. And something happened. Jesus picked me up. He picked me up off the ground. And I started to feel stronger. And the strength built up. And I started reading every Christian book I could get my hand on. I started reading the Bible over and over again. And the best 2 hours of my life were now in the mornings with God.
Charles Spurgeon said that to rush from bed to business without first talking with God is as foolish as forgetting to bathe or dress, or as unwise as dashing into battle without arms or armor.
And I've been doing that for 25 years, and I will tell you that I've had some pretty enjoyable things in my life happen. I've been blessed to have experienced a lot of things. But nothing compares to my relationship with Christ. It is by far the best thing I've ever had happen. It is the great life. And I get up every day. Now, it requires me laying out my sins every day and not leaving any back. I have to lay them all out and find them all and lay them out and ask for His forgiveness. But He carries me through things now, and then tragedies have continued to happen in my life, and crises have continued to happen since this time at age 32. But now they're different because I know where to go for my strength, and He's pulled me through all those different circumstances. As they come up, I can still go through them with a smile on my face, knowing that Jesus Christ died for me.